Hello, and welcome to Awaking Moment. This is Dani Palacio, and I'm going to be your host, and I am excited to be here. I was reflecting on the last episode about getting to know me, and Taylor did such a great job asking some really profound questions on topics that I had no idea that we were going to talk about. So I hope that you enjoyed the first episode. I also recorded a welcome video, just letting you know kind of what this whole podcast is all about. And so today in episode 2, I wanted to talk a little bit more about what it actually means to awaken. Like, it's not a language, it's not a word in our language that we use very often, but the concept is so beautiful to me. And when I was reflecting on a name for this podcast, oh my goodness, I had so many. I had written out, I, for 25 plus years, have been a professional marketing person and have worked in all kinds of different corporations and with small and medium sized alternative entrepreneurs. And so naming something is important, right? It gives its energy. It kind of sets the tone, as well as you can create a brand around the name of whatever it is that you're creating, offering out into the world. So my logical mind sat down and, oh my goodness, I wrote out so many names, potential possibilities of what this podcast could be called. And then I reverted back, which I typically do, is to check in with my heart, connect with the divine, and the team, the quote unquote team that I work with, the allies, the guides that have been with me my whole life and that have come in and out as I've progressed in my energetic pursuits and my own personal spirituality. So I sat down and I just quiet my mind as best as possible, because the mind is so beautiful and it's always active trying to figure out things. But I try and center that thought into my heart, into my energetic heart, that place where unconditional love is available, where I feel seen and safe. And I asked the question, what should this podcast be called? Did I get it anywhere when I was brainstorming? No. And so sometimes I doodle on paper to just kind of keep energy moving and see what comes. You never know. And I started to draw this wave, this frequency, this, because I work with energy and frequency. And so frequency has a wave, has a vibration. And I started drawing it, and I kept drawing it over and over. And I'm like, what is this? And then I saw it, and it was just in a moment, right? Like a waking moment. And it's really fun. I'm going to try and develop the frequency line that came through, because I think that might be my logo. But it's a waking moment. And it can also go up, right? A waking moment. And so I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to call it. And I Googled it. There wasn't anything. Honestly, there was like similar things, but not a waking moment. So a couple days pass, and I get this nudge. So I do that. I get messages. And so I get this nudge to go get the URL, go secure the email address. I was like, okay. So I thought for sure a waking moment would have been taken, but it wasn't. I checked, and that particular website, a waking moment, was 100% available in every .com iteration available. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is actually, it made me feel like, oh my goodness, this is actually meant to be. So I secured it for 3 years, but the first year was $1. I mean, $1. Like, I know they run specials, but it just was another sign to me that this was something I needed to do, that my soul, my life experience, that this is the creative outlet that I needed and that was meant for me. And so, of course, I go on to go get a Gmail account for Awaking Moment. And it's 100% available. Awaking moment, all with no spaces, all together at gmail.com. 100% available. Got it. Like, I didn't even get a Gmail account with my name. It was it wasn't available way back when I got it. So I was pretty surprised that awakingmoment at gmail.com was available. So grab that. So I sat with that for a while, for a few weeks actually, and I was like, wow, this is more than I thought it was going to be. And so much more than I can like intellectually understand. So I wanted to share that story because it is not, I don't think it's a very common name. Awakening, or, something like that, where you're awakening. And actually, there are some things out there, awakening moments, but mine was a waking moment. And so, what does that mean? Right? Like, I have all kinds of intentions to share and discuss lots of topics for you to get to know me, for us to build community, for opportunities to exchange ideas. And ultimately, one of my expertise is to support people in living a courageous life, stepping into bravery, and feeling safe to do so. And so I just released a little short 10-minute video, which I'll link to in the comments, on what it means to be courageous and brave. And so if that is all part of this, then I've been reflecting on, what does it mean to be, or to have, a waking moment? And a couple things pop into my mind and into my heart awareness of, like, maybe what the part of the divine plan for this podcast is. It's definitely a moment, right? It's not always the same moment, because we have moment by moment by moment, and we shift and change and grow. We regress and we deny as we move forward. It's just part of I think it's just part of the natural human evolution of, like, growth. One step forward, two steps back. Sometimes it can feel like 5 steps forward and no steps back. And other times it feels like 10 steps back and, oh my God, how am I going to get out of this hole? So in those moments, how can we awaken? And slightly different, right? Like I had just mentioned, but how can we have a waking moment? How can we wake up? How can we turn on? How can we reignite that inner flame, that inner truth? And so when I think about waking, I think about and feel the quaking, like the waking, like the shaking of, like, finding something viscerally inside of you that's so powerful and so awe-inspiring, so jarring to our current experience, current set of beliefs, current inner truths, because in that moment you had this, I'll call it an epiphany, or this feeling inside of you. And so waking is something that feels really different, and it can feel super exciting. It can light you up, and it can, like, push you forward into your dreams. That passion is ignited. And it can also feel overwhelming, like, oh, I don't know that I want that perspective. I don't know that I want that awareness. And awareness is another key word incorporated into a waking moment, because it does require a level of awareness about who you are, what you want, what you desire, and ultimately, what are you going to do with it? Because I think, and have experienced myself, having lots of waking moments where I felt like I woke up, I'm new, I'm different, and then to find myself months later back in an old routine, into something that is more comfortable than what is being asked of me by by family members, by friends, by coworkers, by my own self, my spiritual guides, asking me to be something more than I want to be in that moment, or fear that I am not capable of it. And you keep getting the request. Like the universe sends you friends and family and coworkers and even social media. So like you start to see something in social media and it's like, I just thought that, and you're always like, how did they find me? How did they know? There are some reasons why. And then the quiet things that are inside us that we've never shared before somehow show up for us as well. And so I take all of those as signs. And a waking moment was definitely something that had been building, that had been percolating inside of me for years. I've wanted to do a podcast for several years. You can ask several of my friends. I've had a blog. I always have some form of website. But I've been working on a book for several years now. And I'm always like, why haven't I finished this? Why did I not follow through? There's lots of reasons, but ultimately I feel like this expression of my creative self, of my gifts, is that I get to hear myself, I get to see myself, and because as I record, I go back and I re-listen, I try and find chapters and start moments so that you can jump to different topics. And it's amazing. In the last couple of weeks, as I've been recording episodes and little videos and spark videos, I've learned from myself, from that intuitive spot that I'm speaking from. And so I've been trying to also think about how can I best support you in finding that moment, in honoring that moment. And so today, I really just want to take a moment and slow down. And that seems to be a critical part of this journey, is that in our current society and in our current incarnation, we move so fast. We exult and thrive on the word busy. The busier we are, the more successful we are, the more important we are, the more, more, right? And when you're listening and trying to listen to what's next for me, why am I here? How do I fill in the blank? It could be anything from, I want to change my career. I'm currently unemployed. I want to have a baby. I want to get married. I want to have the life of my dreams, even though I don't know what that is. Or maybe you are very specific about knowing what that is, but how do you get there? What's the first step? How do you take action? And it requires an I am ready energy. I am ready to know. I am ready to find out. I am ready to experience. I am ready to change. I am ready to embrace a newness that I don't know yet, because that just came into my head, that old definition, and current and accurate, I think. What's insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. And that's kind of what we do. We're sometimes in our lives, we become the hamster and we run around the wheel thinking that we're moving really fast and moving forward, and we're not making any progress. We're just moving around the wheel, right? And so how do you get off the wheel? How do you slow down? And so I want to offer an opportunity for you to do that right now. And so we're going to do a short little guided meditation. or guided experience. I know some people don't like the word meditation. It brings up all kinds of like woo-woo weird things, but it is that if it works for you. And if it doesn't, then this is just an opportunity to have a new experience. And that's part of waking. And so I want to invite you just to wherever you are. If you're in the car, don't do this, but come back to it. I'll have it linked and time-stamped so that you can find it quickly. But if you're in a safe space that you can close your eyes, wonderful. If you're on a walk and you're listening, fantastic. You don't have to close your eyes, but follow along and allow the walk, allow wherever you are to become part of this experience. It helps to really honor where you are in this moment. So again, wherever you are, do what you can with this. So it's harmless. I hope you like it. And if you want more of these little guided meditations or moments, please write in the comments. You can also ask for different topics because I'm happy to explore your topics. So, okay. Just get really comfortable wherever you are. If you can close your eyes, great. If you can't, great. But just take a nice, slow, deep breath in and exhale. Just let it go. And you want that voice, you want that sound on the exhale. If you're in a place that doesn't allow for that, nice, soft exhales are acceptable too. So, but again, breathe in and exhale through the mouth. And what that does is it sends an awareness in the body that says, oh, we're moving energy. We're moving breath. This is different than how we normally breathe. So continue to take another slow, deep breath with a big exhale. And allow yourself to get quiet. Just set the intention. I intend for the next couple of minutes to quiet my mind, to quiet my body, and to be in this present moment. And you can put your hand on your heart if that feels good. You can put your hand on your belly. You can put your hands together. You can keep your hands open, but find that spot where you can just exist without any pressure of producing, doing, or anything that causes you to get out of this moment. So thoughts are thoughts. They're going to be there. It's totally okay. And as you come into a quiet space, for me, I like to find a place in my body that's asking for attention. So you can instantly go to that energetic heart and find that I can't even say the word. Find that place of peace. I was going to say tranquility, but find that place of peace. Or sometimes I go into my gut, into that stomach, into that second brain where it's like my gut, what I'm digesting needs attention. And if neither or any of these feel good to you, then just bring your attention again to the present moment. You can pick an object. You can, if you're walking, you can just notice the trees or the grass or the path before you. And as you do that and you slow your breathing down, have it be gentle yet natural, and feel what it feels like to just do that simple act with consciousness. Breathing in, letting oxygen come into the body. It feeds your brain. It adds to your life force. It's necessary for oxygen in your blood and in your body systems. And exhaling that what no longer is needed. Exhaling, letting go of thoughts, letting go of the systems that are releasing in your body. All of that's leaving when you exhale. And as you do that, continue to breathe. And then in this moment, ask your question. Ask that place within you that bigger part of you and ask the question that's most in your awareness. Maybe it's, how do I change jobs? How do I find a new job? How do I accept myself so that my critical inner voice is more quiet? How can I honor who I am in this moment? Any and all questions are 100% appropriate. So whatever comes to you, ask that question. And don't expect an instant answer. This is not, a fast food drive-through. This is an opportunity to ask the question from a place of centeredness, from a place of presence, and just allow the question to exist. And as you do that, notice your body. Are your shoulders still up really high? Release them, relax them. Is your belly still tight and, getting sucked in? Let it extend, let it release. And give your face permission to relax. Like we often just laugh and giggle and smile a lot. Sometimes we frown and we're angry and upset. And there's so many little muscles in your face. So just give yourself permission. Allow my face to relax. Take a breath, exhale, and let your face, your jaw, just totally relax. And yours will relax a little bit more than mine because I'm talking still. So now, as your body starts to communicate with you, and this may take time, right? But maybe not. Like, let the experience be to your highest benefit. And ask the question again, and then listen. And if it's a part of your body, an organ, a system, an area on your physical body that starts to ache, starts to nudge, starts to become in your awareness, honor that. And if it's a feeling, one of uncomfortable, potential possibility, hope, joy, whatever that feeling is, let that be. Like, you don't have to do anything with that feeling. You can just let it exist in this moment. And just trust yourself, trust your body, trust your spirit, trust your brain. They're all working together to provide you with insight, with opportunity, with aha moments. And so let it wake you. Let light come in to shine newness as to where you're meant to be. And maybe it's not going to make any sense, but trust the very first thing you feel, experience, see, hear. Let it be the answer for now. And then thank yourself. Thank your body, thank your mind, thank your spirit. Thank the universe if you want, for this moment to shift something within you, to create newness, to have better insight. And with that gratitude, bring yourself more consciously to the, even in the waking moment, wherever you are, whether you sat down, whether you were taking a walk, whether you were laying down, whether your eyes were closed, whether your eyes were open, come back to this moment and have a waking experience of like, I'm back, I'm here. Breathe normally and allow the experience to be complete. And so thank you first for going on that moment with me. And thank you for coming back. And I walked through it with lots of various opportunities to have different experiences because I want you to trust yourself, because I deeply want you to have a relationship that you can rely on, that's authentic, that is in alignment with all that you are, your body, your precious mind, your beautiful spirit. I want that to have an alignment within you so that no matter what the question is, no matter what the experience is, you are tuning into you to find your inner truth. So often we look outside ourselves. We read a book, we read an article, we have a conversation with someone we know, we listen to a podcast, and we then say, oh, if it worked for them, it'll work for me. It may not. And it may. And you may force it. I've done all of those things where I've read something and went, that's the answer. And I rearranged my whole life and I did what they said and it didn't work. It didn't work. And so what I can share from my inner truth spot is that we are divinely unique. There is no one like us. And we have to get to know ourselves so that we can support our life, our dreams, no one else's. And yes, there are brilliant people that have written down their journey, their process. I'm going to be one of them. I am one of them right now. I'm sharing my personal experience, but I don't want you to take mine and just say, yeah, that's it. I want you to take mine and process it, ponder it, question, and find your version of it. So often we just put on a new mask. We put on a new outfit and we're just going to be that. And that works for a while. It really does. You can put on anything and try it and just commit to doing it, because it's the human nature of us is that we can follow through. We can be disciplined. We can have structure. We can follow a plan. We can take steps, particularly if they're very clearly laid out. We can take those steps, right? I'm a big baker and there's recipes and that's a step-by-step process. I rarely follow the recipe, just so you know. And, things still turn out. They may not be exactly like the person that wrote the recipe, but they have a little twist, a little added flavor, a little Dani in it. And I want you to have you in your experiences. So I wanted to share today a little bit more about why A Waking Moment was birthed and how it got its name. And my intent, again, is to create sparks for you, to offer opportunities, to slow down. And I want to thank you for showing up. I want to thank you for listening. And however you process this and ongoing episodes, share with me. I've been a life coach for, close to 20 years. I think it's 19 years this year. And yeah. And so I have a lot of experience coaching people, and I want to be your advocate. I want to be your cheerleader. I want to get you to wherever you want to go. And I've been doing energy, spirituality, frequency work, pretty much all my life, but honestly, intently with devotion for, for like 30 years. I had to think about that one for a moment. Yeah, I am that old. So like for 30 years. And there's so much more, but I welcome your questions, your insights, your ponderings. You can always leave a comment in whatever platform you're listening, but you can also write me an email, awakingmoment@gmail.com. The website's not up yet, but I hope to get that done soon. And it's just going to be simple, and links to the episodes so that you can quickly find them if that's easier for you. So again, thank you for showing up. I really hope that you will have waking moments along this journey. And if you don't, it's so okay. There's no expectation. You didn't do anything wrong if you don't have a waking moment. Um, if you just simply enjoy the sound of my voice, or you simply enjoy the topics I talk about or the processes I share with you, great. And there's no expectation um, other than for you to be you, because I am who I am. And I feel grateful that I get to share that with you. So I wish you all the best. Thank you again. And I look forward to our next connection.